Okay, so this is our monthly connection call, and I've run into problems. So, for some reason, I was not able to. Zoom is not connected to my group. Who knows? Zoom changes things, Facebook changes things. Anyway, we're here. How is everybody doing? We are very close to the holidays coming, and I think we say it every time we say, "Oh my God, the year's gone by so fast." And it happens every year, right? But every year it just surprises us that here we are, November, about a week away from Thanksgiving. And I know that us women have a lot to do during the holidays. There's a lot of, I think, expectations on moms and women to get everything done, to make everything perfect, along with the added stress of maybe we don't like our family. Maybe our family triggers us, right? So I thought we would do some holiday tapping and get it to the point where we can get through the holidays with a smile on our face, right? How does
Right.
that sound?
Sounds good.
So thank you to those who are joining us, Joyce and Sue. And also, if you're watching on Facebook, please say hello. Um, I've got my phone and my computer going today. It's just one of those days. So please share what's coming up for you for the holidays. Like I said, it can be very stressful um, when we're having conflicts with our family. Family and holidays don't always go together. And I've had to work a lot on being able to enjoy my family and not feel so triggered and get to the place where I could really enjoy my holiday. So I'd love to hear from you. Where are you? Are you ready and excited for the holidays? Or are you feeling stressed? There's a lot to do. What's coming up? How are you, Joyce?
And well, for me, it's a whole different story because I'm kind of past doing all the holiday things. And since I had the stroke, I'm doing well, thank you. But there's things I simply have know that are in the past, and so I'm looking at it in a different way of just going, doing what little I can and enjoying the family. And it's going to be nice that I'll have um, my grandchildren and my great grandson this year, which it's such a blessing, and so it's a whole new different outlook for me. Um, the difficult part is that I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I mean, I'm missing what I used to do.
Yeah.
Although that was stressful maybe in times, but um, when you've done it for so long, it's just like a way of being. And having to change that way of being sometimes is hard.
Yep. Yep. It can be. Absolutely. How about you, Sue? Can you come on camera or share?
Good morning. Hi, Joyce. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I have a new computer and I can't figure out how to get the video to go on. So,
Well, we can
Well,
hear you.
at least we can hear your voice.
yes. um, so, for the holidays, I'm just now starting to really think about it. And um, we don't, we do Thanksgiving with Chris's family on Thanksgiving Day, but the Sunday before we do Thanksgiving with my family. We've always done that since my mom passed away a long time ago. So that's always nice because you can not have to go to two different places on the same day. So I'm looking forward to that. We're not having either one at our house, but Christmas will be at our house this year, and we've done it the last couple of years, but just doing the whole, I've already got my sister-in-law asking, "What do you guys want? What do the kids want? For gifts for Christmas?" And she's a planner ahead like that, and I haven't even thought about any of that yet.
Yeah.
But then I think, oh, it's only 6 weeks away, but so I'm starting to get amped up and a little stressed about it.
Yeah. And so when you talk about a little stress, is there anything? Can you talk a little bit more about that, Sue?
Well, that's the biggest thing we only do gifts with my sister and brother-in-law, and nobody else in the family. We don't exchange gifts with anybody else. Um, so that's the most stressful thing, is that she will keep asking me, what do the kids want? Well, the kids can tell you what the kids want. Like, I don't want to be involved in that anymore. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like, you have their phone numbers, you can ask them. If they respond, they respond. If they don't, they don't. It shouldn't be always put on me to do that, right? I mean, why is it my responsibility to make sure my kids are giving their aunt and uncle gift ideas, right?
true. Yeah, and when does that change, right? So I'm not sure if people on Facebook can hear, but Sue brought up a good point about because so your kids are in their 20s, late teens, right?
Yeah, one of each. Yeah.
Yeah, so when is that break of the mom kind of delegating, not even being involved, like let the kids decide what they're getting for the rest of the family and not being a part of that? There is
Yeah.
a transition, right? And it is kind of awkward. But I think we do, I think the way through that is speaking up and saying, and just like you're saying, just having your sister contact them or having a family chat where it's not just you.
Yeah. Yep. That would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many other things that um, we can do as we transition into our kids getting older and being adults and not having all the responsibility on mom anymore because there's more mind. But we have to have that conversation. We have to get everybody involved and say, hey, we're doing it different this year. This is what I'd really like. Ah, we see you.
Yeah, I
I
figured it
know.
out.
You did it.
But there's all this pressure around gifts and what everybody wants and is it the right thing? And a lot of times I think we put it on ourselves. Um, and sometimes it's fear of speaking up, right? Because who's that person who's going to take the courage to speak up and have that conversation and say, hey, can we just do it differently? Everybody's getting older. Do we really need to do it the same way?
Right. And then I always feel like if they're not responding right away, then it's up to me to get on their cases to do it. But if they don't respond, then that's up to them, and it's their choice. And if they don't get something because they didn't respond, then that's not my problem, really. It
Right,
shouldn't.
right. Yeah, and Sydney's saying it became their job by the age of 12 to manage that. So that's awesome, Sydney, that you even had that. To give you, when I was raising my kids, the more I gave them, the more I pulled back my control and allowed them to step up and do things. They really rose to the occasion. And they really felt good about being able to pick things out for other people and get excited about seeing somebody open that. So sometimes we deny somebody that pleasure and that joy of actually going through the whole process of picking out a gift, wrapping it, and then giving it. There's a lot of joy that comes from that.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, Oh, so Sydney says she just lost her favorite uncle's girlfriend. Oh, last of a generation. I'm sorry, Sydney. There has been a lot of loss for a lot of people. And that loss does come up during the holidays. So these are things you'll never, there are times we'll never stop missing people who we've lost, but we can learn to get to the place where we can really enjoy the holiday and be really grateful for our time with those people and shift the sadness so that everything you do is encoded with that sadness. And I know it can be really, really hard. So some things I recommend, was tapping to deal with the sadness. And of course, when you've just lost somebody, allow yourself the time to grieve and to go through that grieving process because it is a loss. And there is so much sadness. So give yourself enough time that you need to process all of that. And then when you're ready, there's things like journaling and tapping and so many things that you can do to move through the sadness if you feel that you've been holding on to it for too long. And that's individual, right? Everybody has their own amount of time of how long that grieving process is. But when it comes to years and years are going by and you're still living with them, then reach out. Then definitely reach out. But when it first happens, allow yourself that time to grieve and don't feel that you have to push to feel good. And unfortunately, if it's around the holidays, give yourself compassion. And it's okay if you don't want to go to things. So Sydney says, so much joy, love sharing what I wanted with family members and finding what they chose. Yes. Also loved watching opening. Yes, there's so much that can be had when giving gifts and giving a really special gift. But there's all this stress ahead of time, right? So I thought we would do some tapping to help everybody decrease the stress. And so, in your words, if everybody can give me just a little bit of a couple sentences about the stress that does come with holidays. I have my own, but I'd like to hear your own words too, so that we can add it into the tapping. Any for you, Joyce? I know you're in a new space, but there may still be some.
Well, yeah, even with in my case where I think a lot of this, the most stress is not being able to do normal things during the holiday or in preparation for like, getting the yard cleaned up and maybe doing putting a few lights up or something like that. But when you can't do that, it's a loss. That's a loss, like a loss of somebody in the family, but it's something that you're used to that you don't no longer have or can do. And to refocus your way of feeling about it is being just very thankful that you have family to get together, which long ago we gave up the gifts kind of thing, and it's just enjoy family time.
Yeah.
And happy when we can do that and who can make it and understand for those who can't, because life is different now.
Yeah.
That's it.
And accepting your new norm. Yes.
Mhm. Yes.
How about you, Sue?
Well, along with the gift part is because we're doing Christmas meal at our house, is planning the meal, right? And of course in our family, I have a daughter who's a vegetarian too, so you have to take that into consideration as well, right? What is she going to have besides vegetables, side dishes or something? So it's an extra added thing to planning the meal for everybody. So, And then, of course, you have to clean the house if you're having a bunch of people over, you know. You have to
Mhm.
organize it so everybody's, you know, can be seated where they need to be seated and figure out where the table's gonna go and, all that. And not everybody in the family necessarily all agree where the table should go or what we should make, so that's, you know.
Everyone has an idea.
Yep.
Okay, so let's do some tapping. So for those of you who are new to tapping, just tap along. It's a very powerful mind-body tool that can help us. I use it a lot for my clients to help them get out of pain. It can help us to de-stress, to enjoy more peace and calm in our lives. There's so many things it can do. You're just going to follow along right now. And if you have any questions, please just reach out. Let's see. Sue, you want to be my echo?
Sure.
So Joyce, can you mute yourself?
Yep.
Just check. Joyce is telling me. Actually, we all have in our technology abilities, right? Yes. And Sydney says, yes, eliminate the sense of obligation. Ugh, the word obligation is so true. Okay, we're just going to go right through the points. All the stress.
All the stress.
Here come the holidays.
Here come the holidays.
And I love it and I hate it
And I love it and I hate it.
all at the same time
All at the same time.
because there's all this stress around it,
Because there's all this stress around it.
making sure everybody has the foods they like.
Making sure everyone has the foods they like.
Where's everybody going to sit?
Where's everybody going to sit?
So much to do.
So much to do.
Taking care of the house,
Taking care of the house.
everybody's emotions,
Everybody's emotions.
obligations and expectations.
Obligations and expectations.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And the pressure of having to buy gifts.
And the pressure of having to buy gifts.
Why do we do this?
Why do we do this?
All this pressure,
All this pressure.
all this planning,
All the planning.
trying to make everybody happy,
Trying to make everybody happy.
and then having to invite the family.
And then having to invite the family.
And will everybody get along?
And will everybody get along?
Because I usually get triggered
Because I usually get triggered
being around certain people.
being around certain people.
And I know I'm not supposed to,
And I know I'm not supposed to,
or I shouldn't.
or I shouldn't.
But the reality is I do.
But the reality is I do.
And it can be so tough.
And it can be so tough.
Sometimes I can't stop it,
Sometimes I can't stop it,
but my body reacts.
but my body reacts.
And then my mind jumps in.
And then my mind jumps in.
All this emotion,
All this emotion.
being with these people.
Being with these people.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
And starting right now and going forward,
And starting right now and going forward,
I am ready
I am ready
for a whole new way
for a whole new way
of being in the holidays.
of being in the holidays.
I'm ready to enjoy my family
I'm ready to enjoy my family
and release this pressure
and release this pressure
and know that I am enough
and know that I am enough
and that there will be enough food
and that there will be enough food
for everybody
for everybody
and know that I am enough.
and know that I am enough.
And I'm trusting my guides and angels,
And I'm trusting my guides and angels,
God, universe, whoever I believe in,
God, universe, or whoever I believe in,
to set the intention
to set the intention
that it's going to be a beautiful event.
that it's going to be a beautiful event.
that I get to enjoy my family
that I get to enjoy my family
and honor those who are here with me
and honor those who are here with me
and appreciate those that are not,
and appreciate those that are not,
because that's the most important thing.
because that's the most important thing.
And all of this starts right now.
And all of this starts right now.
So you can just stop tapping. And I really like people to just close your eyes and just breathe into what you notice in your body and just be with your emotions. And if anybody wants to share what that was like, what you notice in your body, I feel like there's a lot of emotion that people are feeling. There may be a lot of sadness and grief, and that's okay. Just allow that emotion of sadness and grief to come up and out of you, because the more we suppress it and we say, I shouldn't feel this, that emotion is going to come out in a different way. It's going to come out as physical pain. It's going to impact your joints. People with fibromyalgia, those are a lot of the people who are suppressing their emotion. And that emotion is energy.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel just more content with and accepting of the change and
Mm.
with the openness to enjoy it. I personally know what it is to suppress it, and then you feel the pain and so on and so forth. And I'm finally learning much better to let that all go and feel that contentment and just think of myself and not what somebody else is going to think, or I should be there, or I should do this, or what they're going to think if I'm not there. And you know what? It's such a relief not to have that stress.
Yeah.
So it makes
Awesome.
a huge difference.
It does. And Joyce, as you were talking, like, can you even expand more into just being able to receive, honoring the fact that all these years, all that you've done, now it's time for you to just sit back and receive and just be there, be with your family,
Yep.
and let the other people do things.
Yep. And it just makes me realize how thankful I am and how thankful they were in the past when they had their issues and that to do things, and I could do that. So it's like a trade-off, and and I have instances like, for instance, I didn't go to church yesterday, which, as you know, church means a lot to me. But I didn't feel good the night before and all that, and I just got up and I said, I can't do this, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And then I had in the afternoon a couple of people call checking up on me to make sure that I was all right. So, that means an awful lot. I
Yeah.
mean, even though I wasn't there just doing, well, not even what I usually do, but just being there, that I was missed and they care. That's a huge thing for me to accept.
Yeah. Good. I'm
So,
glad you're receiving that.
yes.
How about you, Sue? Anything come up for you?
Well, I have a lot of family members that are gone now. You know, my kids don't have any grandparents left now. So And my mom passed away right before Christmas,
Yeah.
the 19th. So the holidays have always been very hard for me. And my husband's father, passed away the day before Thanksgiving.
So there's a lot of really, Sue, a lot of self-care. Really keep doing all that you're doing. And the emotions to come up and out when they're coming through.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And we're going to do another round of tapping. So, and also for you, Sue, like there's a pattern. There's a pattern of losing family members during the holidays. So really be careful of the words you say when you share that.
Okay.
The holidays are always a hard time because, and yes, they are, but you want to change the pattern so that your kids aren't
Yeah.
all eating that same pattern, right? You want to
Yeah.
energy.
Okay.
And Sydney says she had a big aha. If I am enough, I really don't need to manage all those obligations and expectations. What a relief. Release. So much space opened up. Yay. Yes, there's all of this emotion. These are energetic energies that are inside of us. So when we heal them, it opens up space for expansion of how do you want to be? What do you want to bring in, right? Who are the new people who are coming in? What are the new traditions you want to like step into doing for the holidays? There's all this new opportunity once we release and have compassion for ourselves to move on. So Joyce, you want to be my
Sure.
okay, so we're just going to go right through the points. There's a part of me
There's a part of me
feels like I should be doing things,
that thinks that I should be doing this,
even though I just can't.
even though I don't.
And I know that in the past,
And I know that in the past,
I've done a lot
I've done a lot
for everybody
for everybody
and during the holidays.
and during the holidays.
And so right now going forward,
And so right now, going forward,
I'm going to enjoy
I'm going to enjoy
time for myself. Time for myself
time for myself,
to just be with my family.
to just be with my family.
And there may have been a lot of loss.
And there may have been a lot of loss.
I may have lost a lot of people around the holidays.
I may have lost a lot of people around the holidays.
And it's always tough.
And it's always tough.
And I'm ready to shift that,
And I'm ready to shift that,
to honor those people I've lost
to honor those people that I've lost,
and have compassion for myself,
and have compassion for myself,
for who I am,
for who I am,
and how I now get to enjoy my holidays.
and how I now get to enjoy my holidays.
As I honor those people that have passed
And I honor those people who have passed
in a whole new way
in a whole new way.
that lights me up inside. That lights me up inside.
That lights me up inside.
So I'm ready for new traditions
So I'm ready for new traditions
around the holidays.
around the holidays.
And maybe I can have fun creating them
And maybe I can have fun creating them
and bring in my family members
and being with my family members
to help me create new patterns
to help me create new patterns
and new traditions.
and new traditions.
So even though the holidays are different,
even though the holidays are different.
There's been a lot of adjusting.
There's been a lot of adjusting.
I'm ready to believe that I am enough.
I'm ready to believe that I am enough.
And just showing up is enough.
And just showing up is enough.
So that we can all enjoy what we have.
So that we can all enjoy what we have.
With open hearts.
With open hearts.
And all of that starts right now.
And all of that starts right now.
So just take a deep breath. Tune into your body. How you feeling?
Feeling good. The thought came to me when we were doing that a brief flash through my mind of like honoring those before us, like relatives, grandmother, aunts, all different people, of just honoring how happy they made us and what they passed on to us, and how we can now pass on to our families, and how important that is for when we're gone, that they can feel what we can feel.
Yeah. And feel really good inside, right? So we can move into that love and that joy that's deep within you, that comes out.
And know that we're passing. We enjoyed the memories we have of what was before us and what they taught us. And we can have the happiness to know that we can pass it down.
Yeah. Nice.
I think that's good.
Good. How about you, Sue?
I like what Joyce said about, that's a good way to think about it, you know. And it just made me think, I know something that we can do on the holidays is talk about those people that are not around, and talk about, you know, the things I did with my parents when I was a kid, and tell my children those stories, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's that, and I know my husband likes to do that, you know, talking about his grandparents and all that. So that's perfect. That's what I'm thinking about. What I know, what I'm going to do.
And there's even books. So we recently became grandparents, and I'm so excited he's coming out this week. It's like Christmas this week is coming. But they have books out there that it's for grandparents and parents, sharing your stories, writing them down so that your family knows going forward what you lived through. What was it like when you guys got engaged? What was it like when you had your first child? I really wish that I had given that to my grandparents, because I only know a very small percentage of my grandparents and what they did. And then last year, so we gave that to my in-laws, and they filled it out. And then my husband made books out of them with pictures and gave that as gifts to the grandkids. It was so heartfelt, like everybody loved it. It was a big project, but I highly recommend it to keep their heritage going, keep who they are going, right? And to get their stories in their words, because once they're gone, you don't have it. So I know we found our couple books at some of the stores that are out there, bookstores, but it's one way to honor those that came before us.
And you know, Jackie, I think it's okay to include some of the hard times, so that
Absolutely,
you know that they are good and bad. I mean, but that helps to really tell the story.
my grandmother grew up in Sardinia, Italy. I want to know, like, what was that like going through the war? What was it like? You
Yeah.
know, my mother's kind of losing, she was a young child during all that. And she's going through dementia now, so she doesn't have all of it together, but all of that story, what made your grandparents, what made who you are, even as
Yeah,
parents,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Our kids don't know how we had it. And some of us who, you know, do this personal development work, we make it easier for our kids. So they think it was always this easy. But if you start writing down what your life was really like, it gives them a sense of who they are and who you are and why you do the things you do. So anyway, it's one thing. It was really fun to do, and now I'm doing it for my grandson. So this was really great. Thank all of you for showing up. Thank you, Sydney, for joining in. Christy, if you're still there, hello. Everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Reach out if you need help and support. Yeah, and love and blessings to all of you. So
Same to you. Have a happy.
you too.
Care.
Bye.
Nice, Susan. Take care.
Bye, Joyce.
Bye-bye.